This is the Lenovo V14 G2. We reviewed this laptop late last year and we called it a good laptop, especially for that price, but the screen isn't that good. It had an emphasis on the past tense, had a TN panel, and it only has 1366 by 768 pixels in resolution too. It feels like I'm back in the year of 2010. But now it has a beautiful 1080p IPS LCD screen that goes up to 400 nits brightness, and yes, I upgraded the screen of this laptop. We are not the first one to do such upgrades, but in this video I'll go through the process on how I chose this monitor for this laptop. Remember, if your laptop screen is damaged, you can basically do the same steps that we have shown in this video to find a proper replacement as well. So let's begin. First things first, I gotta thank our friend TechRodent for his quick and concise video on how he upgraded his laptop screen using his own steps, but I got greedy, so we'll get into that later as well. So we started off by installing HWinfo, and we can use other tools like AIDA64, but HWinfo is totally free, so once you install it, you can head into the monitor section and see what monitor it is currently using. The Lenovo V14 G2 had a screen made by AUO with the model number of B140XTN07.7. I don't know what all that means, but we will take that string of alphanumeric codes and paste it into a website called PanelLook, and once the search result comes out, then we can see the exact details that we're gonna need. So we will need a total of 4 different information from the PanelLook website. So number 1, we'll need the interface. That means what kind of connection that it actually uses. And number 2, the size of the laptop screen, which is kind of self-explanatory, but we'll get into that later. Number 3 is the pins, so the number of pins that your interface uses. Number 4 is fixation. I think this is more or less a translation error, but the fixation just means how the monitor is actually secured to your laptop. With all of this information, we can filter out what kind of screen works with our laptop. So we can head into PanelLook once again, but now we will head into the advanced search menu and start putting in all of the 4 pieces of information that we have gathered just now. But that is where we can start to do a lot more fun and greedy stuff. I can select what kind of panel I need. So for my case, I will select IPS LCD, and then the resolution, I will just go for the standard 1920 by 1080, and we'll proceed with those information first. Once the search result is done, we get a list of screens and we can select what sort of data shows up, and here we can sort them by either ascending or descending order. And this is where I got too greedy and I ended up sorting in descending order for the brightness. I want a monitor with super good brightness, super good color accuracy, and yeah, this is where the most tedious part starts. As you can see here, there are many screens with more or less similar, if not identical specs, but the model number is just slightly different from one another. I have no idea why there are so many of them, but we will have to copy and paste each and every model number into our preferred shopping site. For me, it's either Lazada, Shopee, or AliExpress. Just try your luck one by one to see which screen is available and at what price that you can get it for. Before making your purchase, there is one more thing that I advise you to do. So this is kind of extreme actually. I would advise you to dismantle your laptop first and take a look at the connector location for your monitor. Technically, you can look at this by just the PanelLook database, because there are good Samaritans that upload pictures of their monitors after they have disassembled it. So you can either do that or disassemble it on your own to have a look instead. This is especially important because the cable for your monitor's connection is already pre-routed on your laptop and you cannot move it that much. For my case, this laptop's 30-pin EDP connector is located somewhere around this side, the bottom left side. So the monitor that I choose will need to have its connection placed more or less around the same side as well. Even the PCB for the backlit driver and all the electronics that hangs underneath the monitor will need to be at more or less the same position and size to fit in the chassis properly. Of course, the screen's dimension also need to be more or less around the same so that it can fit within the bezels of the laptop. Now, after doing this process for longer than I would have liked, I ended up buying from AliExpress instead. I bought the N140HCG-GQ2, which is a Full HD panel, so 1920 by 1080 pixels in resolution, 400 nits brightness, and it is an IPS LCD screen. It's not cheap. I bought it for about 300 ringgit inclusive of shipping and whatnot, and I am paying this money for the sake of experimentation. So after about a month, the screen arrived. The packaging is extremely safe. I will just show you some pictures here, but I can tell you it's wrapped in meters after meters of bubble wrap, and that is just for one parcel. We'll skip all of the installation process and whatnot because every laptop is different. Just take your time and be careful not to break your laptop. Laptops with thin bezels like this one, yeah, it's easy to break, and that is why you can see there is a scar around here. I ended up fixing it by, some super glue, and it's kind of unsightly, but I think the screen's beauty can overwhelm that ugly part here. Once we are done installing, just turn it on and it should work as intended. Remember, we're upgrading quite a lot here. We're jumping from 1366 by 768 pixels to 1920 by 1080 pixels and 250 nits to 400 nits brightness, and then a TN panel to an IPS LCD. I did test out the color accuracy and brightness of these two screens, and it's a stark contrast from what I had before. So it is indeed going up to 400 nits of brightness, and it is indeed covering nearly 100% of sRGB color gamut as well, which is just exactly what I have purchased. And that marks the end of my journey. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and I use it as my secondary laptop right now. I can use this laptop as a test laptop for random software and operating systems as well. It is currently using Tiny 11, a stripped down version of Windows 11 that performs better for computers with not so powerful hardware, and I'm not sure we should talk about operating systems, so let me know down in the comment section below. If this video helps you in your journey to upgrade your own laptop screen, then do let us know down in the comment section as well. I'm very interested to know what kind of screens that you choose. So yeah, that's it. I will try to help you out if you have any questions on how to upgrade your own laptop screen, but just don't ask me about the installation process because every laptop is different. And yeah, do subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. I am just really liking this new screen here. You can see this is maximum brightness, and it has to fight all of the bright studio lights. Viewing angle is excellent. Oh, I should also mention about the battery life. Technically, zero impact. I can still get about 4 to 5 hours. Real good.